When I started playing, I wanted to be here. Like I said, this is an amazing organization. We have a trust in each other, so I decided pretty quick. It's an honor, playing for this organization. Many great players played here, so obviously when you look up here, so many great names and what they achieved, I want to be up there too one day.
Let's welcome in our senior insider, Shams Charania. And Shams, how did Luka and the Lakers come to an agreement on the first day he was eligible to sign that max extension?
I mean, it starts with Luka Doncic himself committing and finishing really this coronation of him as a franchise player for the Los Angeles Lakers moving forward 6 months to the day that he was traded in arguably the most stunning sports deal ever. And listen, Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka, Luka Doncic's agent Bill Duffy, they've met and spoke on Saturday morning, but this is a pretty quick negotiation. It's been emotional last half year for Luka Doncic ever since that trade to the Lakers from Dallas. And what we've seen from Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, then Mark Walter, the new owner there in LA, is building that relationship with Luka Doncic and his inner circle, a close rapport there. And he could have been a free agent next summer, but he commits to this 3-year, $165 million deal. And the question is, why the 3 years? And it's because this summer, he was in line for $345 million Supermax deal if he was still a Dallas Maverick. Obviously, he was traded to the Lakers, and by getting that player option in 2028, he's going to have 10 years of service. He'll be able to opt out and be eligible for a 5-year, $417 million deal when he'll be able to recoup all the money that he lost by virtue of missing that Supermax. So some business sense, but there was going to be some level of commitment with Luka Doncic at some point this offseason. 3 years, 165.
Look, all I hear is a lot of M's and also just a new dawn here in LA. Shams with the latest. Don't go too far. All right, the Luka extension has been a key point for the Lakers this offseason, and now they have him locked in through the 2028-29 season, which is a player option. Now with Luka in LA for the foreseeable future, here he is on his mindset after the new deal.
Yeah, honestly, I think we have a great team. We have what we need to compete for the championship. I'll bring what I already, brought, try to win every game, no matter what. And, we got some new great guys being on the team, and we're going to go for it.
All right, now welcome in our two senior writers, Ramona Shelburne and Mark Spears. Ramona, you can hear the urgency in Luka Doncic's voice right there. What's your biggest takeaway from this extension?
This feels like Luka Doncic's team now. Like, he isn't just the guy that got traded to the Lakers. He isn't the guy who is figuring out what the heck happened and why Dallas traded him. He is the face of the Lakers now, and he was embracing it. Like, he chose them. And I think this was a remarkable job of relationship building over the last 6 months by the Lakers. You have to remember, this man went through an ownership change in Dallas. Mark Cuban sold the team, and everybody in the thought was nothing was going to change there either. And, guess what? Everything changed.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban was not running the Dallas Mavericks very quickly soon thereafter. And so I wouldn't blame him for having trust issues, okay? Like, the Lakers have been sold now, or they're going to be sold to Mark Walter, and Jeannie Buss is transferring power to Mark Walter over the course of a 5-year period or so. But over these 6 months that he's been here, he had to A, wrap his head around what just happened, B, embrace Los Angeles and decide, do I want to be here long term? And probably most importantly, do I trust these people? And so you got to give Rob Pelinka, JJ Redick, Jeannie Buss, and Mark Walter, who has had not just this meeting with him at the contract signing in the Backstreet Boys concert, but other meetings with his representatives to say, you can trust them.
Yeah.
I'm going to beg to differ with you.
Okay.
As long as LeBron James is in that locker room, they're co-stars. He ain't the face yet.
Yeah.
When LeBron leaves, I'll take the crown off and hand it over to Luka. And that was the elephant in the room there, right? Where was LeBron James at? I actually think it was a good thing that he wasn't there. I love that Luka got that amazing support from his teammates, and, maybe that Backstreet Boys ticket and PJ to Vegas, I think I will go. But, if LeBron's there, then it takes the spotlight off of Luka a little bit. He deserved his day to be the guy, to enjoy his contract, to get the praise for that, to go to this con. I don't know that LeBron James wanted to go see Backstreet Boys either.
Probably not.
But
Rob is rocking out. Look at
I know, right?
But I did hear, I think Dave McMenamin has reported that LeBron called. And to me, that's the respect that he needed to show. So I don't think there's any real elephant in the room there. But I do think that these two guys together, They're co-stars. They're co-superstars.
So who gets to say I want it that way?
You see? I see what you did there.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like Mark doesn't know the lyrics of right.
I can sing the lyrics.
I mean, I think Tell Me Why. Is that the song?
Wow, we got you singing.
That's like the only song that I know.
That's all he knows.
When LeBron James, if LeBron wanted to be there, he would be there. I have been to many Laker press conferences where
he wasn't at his son's first preseason game.
Okay,
he was with Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico.
Now,
do you remember when Frank Vogel was hired? It was after the summer where Magic had quit.
But why?
And they
tried why was he there?
Because he wanted to show support.
Why?
Because it was his team.
But it was drama going on, right?
Yeah, because Magic had stepped down.
Yeah.
And then they went through a very strange coaching search where they didn't hire his guy, Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
And they ended up with Frank Vogel and LeBron, and there had been things that had been uncomfortable between the sides. And LeBron very clearly showed up, and he was wearing like a neon pink hat. At that press conference.
Sure
like, hey, by the way, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm showing my
But
support.
with his drama with the team right now, I think it would have taken away from Luka's press conference if he was there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think he made the right decision.
I feel like you win and you lose in both situations.
He can't, because of who he is, right?
Yeah, because of who LeBron is, it doesn't even matter. If he shows up, it could be a bad thing because he's trying to, take the spotlight. Or if he doesn't show up, it's a bad thing now because now you're not supporting Luka Doncic. So I guess it's a lose-lose situation.
But the fact that he called.
I think that's a big deal.
He called. He reached out, and that's really that's all that matters. All right, and check this out. After the extension, Luka put this out on X saying, "I'm also committing $5 million to help 77 young athletes around the world chase their dreams, just like I did. Basketball gave me everything, and I'm lucky to be able to give back and help the next generation." Great to see Luka giving back and setting up the next generation of ballers. And speaking of,
on a 4-year, $229 million max contract extension with the Spurs that keeps him in San Antonio through the 2029-30 NBA season. This is a signing that'll occur later on Monday, and De'Aaron Fox and his rep Rich Paul navigated a trade to his preferred destination, the only place he wanted to be, San Antonio, back in February. He wanted to be a Spur. He got there. He got his wish, and now months later, he gets the full max contract. And this is after the Spurs already drafted Dylan Harper, have the reigning Rookie of the Year as well, and Stephon Castle. So that backcourt is loaded. So now he's going to have no state taxes as well with this extension compared to his old California residence. But for De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama have developed a very close relationship. And, overall, I think for the Spurs, this is something that they wanted to make sure they got done early this offseason.
Yeah, Spurs making sure they made that move early. Sean's catching a stray right there, bro. Taking a shot at California. Sean, thanks so much for that.
A lot of tax where Sean lives, too.
Yeah, that is true, too. And now you have, this Spurs team last season, they really underachieved. They lost Wemby to the blood clot, then also finished under 500. So, Mark, just what is the ceiling for this Spurs team now, knowing that De'Aaron Fox is going to be there with this extension?
Well, first, kudos to De'Aaron. He got what he wanted. Mm-hmm. He's back home. His wife's from around there. He got paid, and he's with Wemby. But the question is, a lot of people don't know this. The Spurs haven't been in the playoffs since 2019, which sounds kind of absurd to say.
It is.
Wemby has not played in the postseason. I expect him to be healthy and take the team to the playoffs. I think they will be a playoff team. And then the next thing is people are like, well, De'Aaron, you got these other two guards, great guards, Castle, the rookie coming in. I don't think they do anything right now. You let those two guys, let Harper grow, let Castle grow some more, and Fox will be a great mentor for them. They're a really scary team if everybody's healthy.
Yeah, and it's hard to evaluate anything last season because so much happened to the Spurs. Yeah. From Greg Popovich having his health issues and then eventually stepping down. Mitch Johnson coming in the middle of the year, having to take over, actually early into the year, having to take over on the fly. Wemby had blood clots, shut down his season right after the All-Star break. And even De'Aaron got there, and they played a little bit together, but they didn't really get to see what that combination can do. And so I think I'm excited to see what the Spurs do. I think this gives Dylan Harper some time to grow. This gives Stephon Castle some time to grow into those roles. And as Mark said, that maybe 3 years from now, that might be a decision they have to make, but it's not a decision for today.
Gives the coach time to grow, too, with his first training camp and everything.
And let's talk a little bit about De'Aaron Fox and his fit with Wemby, though, also. Yeah. Mark, how do you think those two fit together on the court?
Oh, you know what? I think that Fox's time with Sabonis probably could help, pick and rolls. And, Sabonis was certainly the kind of guy that could shoot threes, make a mid-range. Wemby's just such a unique, odd, different monster, right? And so that's why I think training camp is important. Maybe what the Spurs should do is take a note out of like the Celtics when I covered them, where they go somewhere. I don't know if they're doing training camp somewhere else, but when you have so many new pieces like that, bring them away.
Yeah.
So they could get to know each other and build some camaraderie too.
Yeah, build that chemistry. That's going to be huge for this San Antonio team going into next season. All right, coming up on this jam-packed show, we've covered Luka, but what about LeBron? LeBron has made sure everyone knows year 23 is loading, but what is the Lakers program going to look like? Plus, Giannis is still weighing his future, but are the Bucks? Has Milwaukee done enough to tip the scales in favor for Giannis? And the Fever are the hottest team in the WNBA without Caitlin Clark. What is it like to manage a superstar who wants to get in on the action? Fever head coach Stephanie White tells us next on NBA Today. Their longest win streak in the last 10 seasons, Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston have dominated, averaging 19 and 15 points per game, respectively. The Fever have kicked it up a level as of late with their longest active win streak in the W right there. Indiana has also moved up, and the standings are now just a game and a half back of second place in the league. And how lucky are we? We've got head coach Stephanie White live in studio here with us. Thank you so much for taking the time. And just as I mentioned, you guys won 5 straight games. How are you guys finding ways to win games, especially without Caitlin Clark on the floor?
Yeah, we're really just finding a way. I think chemistry, continuity, this is a team that really pulls for each other. It's a really deep team, so you can't really key on 1 or 2 players without Caitlin on the floor, especially. And they've got connectivity on both ends. I think our defense has improved. Offensively, we're moving the ball, getting a lot of players' touches. The ball's finding the right shot, and it's just been a really fun group to coach. They've been incredibly resilient.
Yeah, and speaking of Caitlin Clark, she's only played 13 of 29 games. She's been in and out of the lineup, obviously, with the injuries. When you take a look at Caitlin Clark, one, what's her status, and also what's the plan to get her back out there on the court?
Yeah, I mean, it's day-to-day right now.
Yeah.
We're really just putting no timetable on it, going through the rehab process, and then we want to reintegrate her from a strength and conditioning standpoint, and then get her back to basketball activities. So we're taking it one day at a time, really slow rolling it, slow playing it this time. She tried to come back a couple of times and just had setbacks along the way. So the most important thing for us is Caitlin's long-term health, getting her back to 100% before we put her back on the floor.
All that said, it is not easy to go from having a ball-dominant player like Caitlin Clark on your team one day and then not on your team for long stretches and then back and then back and then not out. How are you guys